Hey guys, welcome back to Ironing Out the Kinks podcast, episode 32. You're joining Luke
and Chelsea.
Married couple talking about all things kinky, sexy and fun, giving you advice on life and other things, even though we're not really, well, you know, relationship stuff. Sex is life.
Sure is.
Okay. You want to tee us off, my love?
Yes. So whatever you're listening to us on, please pause and follow us and subscribe, because we've recently found out that we are ranked on how many people follow and subscribe us rather than listeners, and our listeners we're very happy with, but the follow and subscribe rate not so much. So please do us a favor and hit that button for us.
Yeah, you don't have to pause it, you can just do it
whatever technology allows.
Yeah, do that for us, because that's really handy, and it gets the message out more and helps us out. It makes it all worthwhile, you know. What about if people want to talk to us?
So if you want to send us a submission, you can head on over to our website, which is iotk.fun, and send us your tea there.
Absolutely, all anonymous. And hit up on the website as well for any merch you want. More will be added, more will be put on as we go along. But yeah, what's first? That's the end of the plug.
Well, I believe that you wanted to start this episode off, didn't you?
I did. So we're going to touch on top 100 kinks. We've covered this before, but I've been enlightened recently. So we're going to talk about cuckoldry, cucking. So I didn't realize, and this was something I had a conversation with some people recently, that we always think about cucks as somebody who's in the humiliation factor, who sort of sat having to watch their we'll say wife in this scenario, because there's like cuck queening from the female point of view, which you enjoy.
Yeah. But
from the male point of view, we call it sort of cucking. Now, there's another way of looking at it called like being a stag instead of a cuck. And the thing is, there's a humiliation factor with the cuck. There's like the power play. There's somebody else, you know, fucking your partner in front of you, and you having to like sit back and watch. But the stag thing, which was brought to my attention and talked to about, was that it's basically somebody almost giving possession's wrong, but like giving their partner over.
Just to come in there, but a typical sub-dom relationship, there is an element of possession to it. Yeah. So if you have that dynamic, I think that word's fine.
Okay, cool. I'll go with that then.
Yeah.
So it's a case of like, it buys into the sub-dom, whereas previously the wife would be the dom and like, I'm going to get fucked by somebody else and you're going to be a little sub and sit in the corner and you have to watch. Whereas this is a reversal. It's like, I'm the dom as a male and I'm going to allow you to like enjoy my possession, my treasure, you know, my thing. And that,
it's like an ego thing, right? It's
completely.
Like look how hot my wife is.
Exactly. Look how much you want my partner. Yeah. Look how much you want her.
How lucky am I to have her? I'm allowing you to sleep with
and
her.
Look how grateful you are. Look how hard your dick is. Look how much you're enjoying having what is mine. Okay. And this again, I'm not aligning women with possessions in a materialistic sense, but it's like having a really nice car. Right. And see it letting somebody else go on, and you can take it for a spin around the block and seeing a big smile on their face, and you're like, it's mine. I got that. You didn't. You can't get that. I let you have a little go. Yeah. So it's the revisiting, and obviously there's still the big side of cuckoldry in the sense of the dom sub thing, where the sub sits in the corner and kind of has to watch, and I still think that's really hot.
So what would you call that exchange, or is it just a man being a sub? A man being a stag.
That's what I've been informed it is. Right. So it's a cuck type relationship, but the man doesn't go by the name cuck, he goes by stag. So he's like, I'm a stag, so I'll sit there. It isn't like in my head with a cuck, if I was to fuck someone's wife in front of them, I'd want to like look at them and be like, you're pathetic. Look how much better than you I am. Look at how much she's enjoying it more than you. And that's when you look at like cuckold porn and things like that. It's like, I made her come more than he ever could, and she'll be like degrading to him at the same time, like, oh my God, my husband never fucks me like this, whilst he sat in the corner. Whereas this is not like that. It doesn't buy into that. So
that's quite hot.
Yeah, I think they just go by stag. I think it's quite hot. I kind of get it. It's still not something I would want to partake in personally, but that's just my choice.
What about if it was another woman?
with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we do have sex with other women and you spend time with the other women, I feel like a stag. I don't feel like a cuck. I'm not in the corner being demeaned and seeing somebody do something to you that, like, in my head to play into the fantasy, I can't do it. I'm not very good. For me, it's like, look how much you're enjoying my wife. Look at you get to
like that, but yeah,
go down
that
on
is
her
how it plays out.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's I think if that became more widely known, and we do this, we're 32 episodes in, and I only heard about this a few weeks ago. So again, if that became more of a normal conversation to people who had that kind of fantasy, because I think it'd be very easy to tie into, oh, I want somebody to fuck my wife or my partner, but I'm not a cuck. I don't want to be like, I don't want to be a sub. I don't want to be
the one in the corner.
But if you can, empower yourself with that of like, no, I'm going to be a stag. Like, I'm going to allow you to do this. And obviously we're using, words of like allow and possession and stuff, but that is the fantasy that we're buying into here. Don't at us about it. Okay. What's your take on that?
I think it's hot. I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't, well, I guess I could be in that role myself, because I could be like, I feel like that when you're fucking other girls, when we're fucking girls together, I'm like, yeah, like, you're enjoying him. How great is his cock? That's mine. I get that.
But you do have to sit in the corner sometimes and watch.
Yeah, and I like that element of it as well.
But there's for you, I guess you're right on the balance of the degrading humiliation versus the stag type. Look at you enjoying my husband.
Yeah.
Interesting. You're a hybrid.
I'm a hybrid.
You're right in the middle of the two. Yeah. So you had an article about this.
Well, I didn't have an article per se about stag, but I was...
No, yeah, about we're generalised. I
was browsing Facebook the other night, as you do.
Only if you're over 40. Who the fuck's on Facebook anymore?
Well, me, apparently.
Yeah, apparently.
And a Daily Mail article popped up.
God, it must be true.
Well, I find it mad because Daily Mail doesn't usually report on this stuff, and I had to double take. And it was a sexy picture with the wording over it saying, experts reveal women are wanting to try cuckolding trend in the bedroom. And
as in they want to be fucked by somebody else whilst husband?
I didn't go into it that far. No, I saw the headline, just thought it's interesting that something, take it back 5-10 years ago, would have been such a taboo thing, and it still is.
I think from our generation, I think if you probably went back 50 years, you'd probably find it much more. The
point is, 5-10 years ago, I don't think you would have seen a headline like that in a mainstream newspaper.
Yeah. I think most people didn't know what it was like 10-15 years ago.
Well, yeah, but I just thought it was interesting how, these barriers, and regardless of it being fucking Daily Mail of all things, but just regardless of that, it's just nice to see barriers being broken down a little bit and taboo subjects being spoken about more through mainstream media.
Making the conversation happen.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, go on Daily Mail.
What were the comments like?
The comments weren't so forthcoming.
I'm going to guess a lot of insecure men.
A lot of insecure men just calling women, the typical words we all get called for enjoying sex. Men saying that if my wife suggested this, that would be divorce immediately. Women have no respect for themselves. This is not a woman. But
these people were going to die out one day. No one wants
Brian anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Terry and Paul aren't really getting fucked a lot anyway.
Yeah, funny enough, before I saw their comments, I wasn't planning on fucking them. So, it doesn't change my life at all.
No, it's amazing. But yeah, so I think that's something that if couples are intrigued, and I think obviously everybody needs to be on board, and it's we should never do something because our partner wants us to. And we want to please them. That's not a good way to handle any form of kink or fantasy. But I think if this is kind of a thing that maybe it's been in somebody's head. Imagine it's me and it's been in my head and I'm like, yeah, but it doesn't work in my head. Like I want to see it, but I don't want to be degraded.
Emasculated as well.
Yeah, I don't want to be that. Well, actually, you don't have to be. You can be positive and keen on that. We've actually got people we're talking to who may well feature in the show one day as guests who have this exact dynamic. And that's where it kind of all snowballed from. Somebody I was talking to, they've then put me in touch with somebody And I'm really interested.
Yeah,
I'm interested to hear the mindset, understand the way it works, how they skin it, and how they do that. Because for me, it would have to be a massive trust thing on who I would allow into our bedroom from a male point of view.
Yeah,
but that's because I'm dumb. I'm a dumb man who wants to beat my chest. You know, that's who I am. So yeah, I think it's really cool.
Yeah,
it was a really, really eye-opening, cool way of looking at it.
Cool. So I guess we'll delve into this on a future episode with partakers.
Partakers?
Yeah,
yes.
As in, I mean, people
who do it.
Who partake in that.
Sorry. I'm a moron. Sorry.
Yeah, cool. You're a dumb man.
I'm a dumb man. What's next?
All right, let's jump into Naughty Corner.
Naughty Corner.
So funnily enough, something you just said a moment ago about, was it forcing someone to do a kink that
pressuring somebody.
Yeah, kind of plays into this next submission.
Okay.
So I'll take it from the top.
Go for it.
Hi, Luke and Chelsea. Love the pod. You two crack me up every week, and I really appreciate how open you are about everything. So I was listening to episode 15 when you talked about kinks and how important it is to be open-minded, and it got me thinking. My girlfriend recently told me she has a CNC rape play fantasy, and honestly, I don't know how to handle it. I love her, and I'm not a vanilla guy. I'm totally into light bondage, rough sex and all that. But this, I don't know if I could ever feel comfortable pretending to assault someone I love, even if it's fully consensual. She reassures me that it's just a fantasy, but I'm worried that if I can't give her what she wants, she'll start looking elsewhere. Am I the asshole for not being into it, or is there a way I can explore this safely without feeling like a monster? Would love your advice. Keep up the amazing work.
Thank you very much. Do you want to go first or shall I go first?
I've
kind of got answers, I think.
Go for it then.
Answers.
Give me your answers.
No, you. If you're not comfortable with it, you don't have to do it. If you're not, if this is the be all and end all for her, which it doesn't really sound like it is. It sounds like she's just into it, which is with people who I saw some stuff about CNC recently, and people were going mental about it. And then I saw another post, coincidentally, a few days later, about somebody we really like on Instagram, and she's great.
Mm.
And she was explaining it and how it enables people to take back power and control a situation of something that potentially is a high worry or an anxiety or something that's happened.
Yeah.
So it's a really, really useful tool, as a lot of kinks are, to have that, to build strength in yourself.
Yeah.
From
it's got legs.
Completely. So that's all I'm going to say about CNC. But no matter what the kink is, if you're not feeling it and she wants it, as long as it's not like a fetish, meaning she needs it in order to get off, then it's cool. You can just say, look, I'm really sorry. I'm just not comfortable with doing that to you. She can play the fantasy in her head. If you're going to do some sort of very light bondage, BDSM style stuff, in her head, she can play the fantasy. It doesn't need to be verbalized by you. Obviously, that's what she wants, but to find the middle ground.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be acted upon in order to satisfy her.
Yeah.
It sounds like, and if it does, then that's a conversation you guys need to have, because there is such a thing as not being sexually compatible.
Yeah, but also one thing he said here is that he's worried that if he can't give her what she wants, she'll start looking elsewhere. And for the most part, I think every relationship, somebody has, either a fantasy or something that they'd like to try at some point in their life, or something they just, think about and think, oh, that's hot. I think every single relationship is going to have that. And just because they can't fulfill that within that relationship, it doesn't mean they're going elsewhere. The odd little straggler will go be a dickhead and might go seek this out somewhere. But for the most part, people don't. If this is a pretty, up there kink in terms of normal life, right?
Yep.
Some people would be like, oh yeah, I'd like a finger stuck in my ass. This is quite further along than that. And, you said it's a fantasy. Maybe it is just that. It's not something that she needs. Like Luke can think about, fucking 30 women at once. It doesn't mean that because I'm not going to
do it.
Yeah, because I can't give it to him, he's going to go try and get that somewhere. It's just something that, that might get her off, or she's seen porn of it and she's like, yeah, I really like that. She's not unlikely to leave you if you can't give it to her. And then, sorry, just touching back on one other point here, you said is, You don't know if you could ever feel comfortable pretending to assault someone I love, even if it's fully consensual. Now, if this is something that you don't want to do at all, that's absolutely fine. Communicate that to her. But one thing I would say is do a little bit of research into it so you can understand exactly what CNC is, because it's not all about assault.
No.
It
doesn't have to be like a physical style of
pinning someone down,
yeah.
taking away their ability to move. And, you know, that's the assaulty part of it. It isn't all about that. It could just simply be, you know, you're overpowering her and you can tell her to shut the fuck up, I'm going to fuck you.
Yeah.
You haven't laid your hands on her there. You haven't done anything that would be considered assault. You're just being the dominant man who's like, I'm going to take you now. So maybe do a little bit of research and see if there's any elements of it that you do find kind of hot. If you've got a dom-sub relationship, a lot of dom tendencies kind of come from light CNC.
Completely, because it's just another element of power play. Yeah. I understand what he's saying, like, I don't want to quote unquote assault. I get that, because that's very, for most men, I hope, for most men, that's very sort of anti what we're about. We're about protect and try and look after. But exactly like you said, that fantasy I talked about, I think it was on last week's episode, or fantasy, the role play thing of like creeping into bed.
Oh, right, yeah.
You know, and being like, basically you're almost like broken into the house and she's like, oh my God, I'm going to have to do what you say. It doesn't have to be restrictive. It doesn't have to be anything. You know, she can just be like, please, you know, I don't want this, even though wink, wink.
Yeah.
And then you fuck her, you know? Yeah, I think it's all down to you and what exactly is your boundaries. And that's completely fine. We're not trying to put pressure on you and be like, well, you should bend to what she wants, because even if you're not comfortable, that's not what we're saying. What we're saying is understand the full sort of spectrum of it. And if it's a no, it's a no.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to her about that. Explain how much you love her, and explain that you're not okay with that. I'm sure she'll be like, okay, that's fine. I know you've got fantasies that I don't want to happen.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's okay. But we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
We use it as like a bit of foreplay sometimes for dirty talk.
That's it. And like, obviously, like Luke said here, speak to her about the spectrum of it, of where her fancy lies with it. Because, you know, it might just be something so simple as a bit of role play, and then that might not be so, you know, crazy and sickening to do for you. Yeah.
Or at all. You may find the balance of dom sub. But again, I'm stressing to you, if this is not your bag, that is okay.
Yeah.
That is fully okay.
And I'm sure she'll respect that.
Yeah. I've got a funny story about something like this.
Are you
done with the advice?
Yeah, that's all my advice.
I was once having fun with somebody quite a few years ago. And I'd go to hers, and it was always at her place. And then one time she was like, I want to resist and I'm going to fight you.
You've told me this.
I think I have, yeah. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I'm cool with that. I think that's fine, as long as, you know, we have a word and we understand boundaries, blah, blah, blah. Cool. So we're in the midst of it. Her bedroom window's open. It's about 9 o'clock at night, so it's dark outside. Bedroom window's open. And she just starts shouting, like, quite loudly, please stop. And I was like looking at her like, what? And she's like, don't fucking stop, keep going. I was like, okay, yep, cool. And she's like, oh my God, please, I'm begging you, please get off me. And I was like, I can't, because I've got to leave the house soon. Like, we're not together or anything. Exactly, my car's outside, my number plate's there. And I was like, okay. And then in the end, it happened like once more, and then I just like gagged her a bit. I was like, shut the fuck up. Because I was like, I can't. And it was just like single woman living on her own, me skulking out at like 10 o'clock at night into the darkness, jumping in my car.
Excuse me, like, can I just close the window for a moment?
I said that. I said, should we close the window? And she went, no, I want people to hear.
Oh,
and I was
God.
like, I don't think I do. And she was like, shut the fuck up.
You can have Bill from next door knocking on the door in the morning going, was everything all right last night?
Or they're like, she's at it again. We've called the police 7 times now. Every time they just look at us and shake their heads. But that was terrifying for me.
Yeah, I bet.
But she was like, yeah, I want people to hear. And I was like, I don't. And she literally was like, are you a fucking pussy or what? And I was like, oh, God damn it.
I know what you're like. You've literally been like, no, I'm not. I can do this.
I was like, I can do this. I'm a big, strong man. But yeah, that was terrifying for me. There's a little story for you all.
Pleasure. Right, next one.
Next one. Sorry to tail your advice with a stupid story, but yeah, if you got any more any more concerns or anything that you want to talk about further, please just hit us up. We're more than happy to revisit the same thing and come back to it.
Cool. Hey, Luke and Chelsea, you filthy legends. Love the pod. Thank you for making sex talk feel so normal and fun. So I have this friends with benefits situation that was going great. No strings, just amazing, filthy, mind-blowing sex. But now I think he's catching feelings.
Uh-oh.
He started wanting to cuddle after texting me to check in and even dropping hints about meeting my friends. I like him, but I don't want a relationship. He agreed to this setup, but now I feel like the bad guy for not wanting more. Do I end it, have a serious convo, or just pretend I don't see the hints and keep riding the wave? Literally, help a girl out.
No.
You do this one because I feel like this is your realm.
Why? Because that's the world I lived in.
Yeah.
No, listen, as soon as feelings get caught, it's done.
Yeah.
When it comes to, I don't like the thing friends with benefits. I mean, I get friends with benefits and people are cool. My quote unquote friends with benefits, I didn't know their surnames. That was the boundaries that we kept up between us.
Yeah, we've discussed this before because you and I have very different terms and expectations from friends with benefits.
Whereas mine is like, I mean, we've had a threesome with one of my friends with benefits.
Yeah.
And, I didn't know her surname until a bit after that.
Yeah.
And still now, it may sound awful to some people, but I don't really remember their names. The thing was the act. That was what we were pursuing.
Yeah.
So if somebody starts doing the feelings thing in there,
yeah,
and you have to just go, no, it's done.
The thing is, so there's no backtracking from them. Once they've caught it,
exactly.
They've caught it, and it's only going to get more uncomfy.
The way to look at this is if you don't do anything about this, you're the asshole.
Yeah.
You're the bad guy because you are the person that is leading them on, quote unquote. You're like, oh yeah, I kind of got the feeling that you felt like this, when they're like, I think I'm really into you, and you're like, I'm not, I don't want this, I just want it to bang, and that's cool. Also though, little side note, cuddling after sex isn't a bad thing. That's a little bit of aftercare. I don't think that's bad.
I've never cuddled with friends with benefits after sex.
Oh, I have. But just like, I just chill as well, like,
yeah, chilling
get some food
and
or
having
something.
a drink or something.
Yeah, like, but have a cuddle.
No, that's not me.
I don't mind that.
That's too
mind.
like, that's like.
I've just been inside them. It's okay if they put their head on my chest and we chat for 5 minutes.
This is where me and you are so different, because you are purely friends with benefits in the bedroom, whereas I used to be friends with benefits like, let's go have a few drinks out in the pub and then we'll head on back.
Yeah.
So, but
that's too much for me.
But if we was to kiss outside the bedroom, that's cuddling to me. They're the areas that we don't cross.
No, yeah, I wouldn't kiss outside the bedroom. I just wouldn't go anywhere with them. I'm not, but we're not dating. Yeah. And I used to be so black and white with people. I don't care about how your day was. I don't want to know what you do for a living. I don't want to know about your pets or anything like that. And this may sound horrible, but this is purely to create these boundaries so that zero feelings are caught.
Mm.
And yeah, so the advice is, I remember another story actually, but the advice is you've got to walk away from that.
Yeah.
Until he cools off, and you got to say, look, I just think
he's not going to cool off. You won't.
No, he might. Give him a year. He might have got in a relationship, got out of a relationship, and be like, you know what? I just need that fucking tornado mouth again.
Yeah. Both of our opinion here is
cut and run.
There's plenty of friends with benefits out there. You'll find another easy.
Oh, for sure. Especially as a female.
And especially as one who doesn't want to have hellos and niceties. They just want to fucking leave. You'll find someone easily.
That's it. You got to find this again. It was always on dating apps, and it was like a real low hit rate for me, but it was like, I'm not going to waste your time. I'm not going to pretend that I'm here for anything other than this.
Yeah.
And this is what I can provide for you. I'm pretty good.
I can provide great dick and a cuddle after on my chest.
A 5-minute debrief and cuddle. I remember one girl was like, I can't, she came over and she was like, I can't do this because you're such a cool guy. Like everything about you. When she came to, you remember my house? Mm-hmm. It was like a man's house. There was nothing in it. It was
Boys
great.
Pad,
Cool pictures on the wall, and that was my life. It was sick. And she was like, I can't. It has to be more for me. I need to like talk to you. I was like, it's cool. Listen, this ain't going anywhere. Let's go. So she left. And then every Thursday she would go out for work drinks, get drunk,
Told me this,
and then come round. And I was like, listen, it is not going to change things. If you want to come over, that's on you. I'm not asking you to, but you know the rules. And she was like, yeah. Friday morning, she'd be like, I hate you for doing this. And I was like, I'm not doing anything.
It's you, love.
Yeah. And she's like, never again. Thursday next week, I knew it. It was like clockwork. I'd be like, 10:30.
This is such like an ego boost for a guy as well. And don't say it isn't.
At that time, it wasn't for me. It really, really wasn't. No, it was just, I didn't want a relationship. You know that this was before you and I got together, obviously, but it was that point in my life where I was done. And it was literally, if you walked back into my life, I would marry you. Anyone else, it was no. And it was like boundaries to keep me protected and safe from previous poor relationships. And because I knew that the standard was so high with you, nobody would ever be able to match that. In a horrible way, I'd only be settling because I knew what I wanted and it was you. But you weren't in my life at that point. So it was like, it wasn't an ego thing. It was very much just a physical need that I had. And I was like, I enjoy this stuff. If you do, we can do stuff. If not, that's fine. And I had people come over sometimes and be like, I don't think I can. And I'm like, that's absolutely fine. You go on your way. I'm not going to take you out for a drink and give you all of the false niceties in order just to sleep with you. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to your question.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Right, ready for the next one?
Yeah, sorry.
You give us a story on the end of this one?
I'm in a story mood. Leave me alone.
You actually will have one as well. I know you will.
You know, because you know all of my stories.
Right. Hey guys, first off, love the pod. Keep doing what you're doing.
People are so nice.
This is so nice this week.
Keep this. If you're going to submit something, fucking put a little nicety on the front. It makes us feel good.
I didn't think I'd ever have something to send, as I'm really not that exciting, but recently I'm being hit with a bit of a dilemma. So my boyfriend is obsessed with edging. Like every time we have sex, it turns into this long drawn out torture session where I'm right on the edge for ages and I just want to finish. I get that he loves it and I try to go along with it, but sometimes I just want a quick, messy, rip our clothes off and fuck kind of session. How do I tell him I love our sex, but also sometimes just want to come without it being a whole production? I don't want to kill his kink, but I also don't want to keep suffering through hours of torture just to get off. Would love your advice.
Do you want to go first?
No, you.
I haven't got a story for this.
I'm sure you'll find one.
Probably. Yeah, probably. It all started when I was 8. No, I mean, this is just the classic communicate.
Yeah.
And it's debriefing after sex. This is where it should be normalized and should be a thing.
But it's hard to... So this is why I don't think debriefing works. Is because it's hard to have sex and then go the guy be like, huh, that was great. How was that for you? And the girl
that's not what you say.
Well, I didn't enjoy this. It's better to understand what you want from sex before you have it.
All right, debrief the next day then. I don't know. For me, it's just a simple case of be honest with me. Tell me what worked and what didn't. And I think this could be one of those times where it's like, on Saturday night, you edged me for hours and fucking hell, it felt amazing when I came. But tonight it went on a little bit long. Like it was great, but I just need to come quickly sometimes. You've told me that before. Yeah,
sometimes like it's so hard with me because sometimes I can edge and keep edging and edging and edging on the cusp of an orgasm and it feels amazing. And sometimes I can keep edging and edging and edging and then I lose it. I'm like, where's it gone? I can't get it back.
Please, it's like Sam through the fingers. And that's where you will say to me, like you always, we have the dynamic where you always ask me if you can come. And sometimes I'll look at you and be like, what does she want? And I can read your body language now. And I'm like, no, she can wait. We're in that mode.
Yeah.
But then I also know, because you've told me, I didn't enjoy that time very much because of you kept me going too long and I kind of lost it. There's no ego here from me in this. And that's what men need to get rid of that ego. And women need to not be scared to hurt their egos.
Yeah.
Because it's so beneficial to turn around and say, don't edge me tonight. I just want to fuck and come. I want to feel it. And I like explode when I'm on your dick or whatever it is. Make them feel good, like a little kick and a kiss, as we say.
Yeah.
But for me, this is just textbook communication.
Yeah, simple as that. So I don't know the conversations that have happened here, but it might have been a case of they had sex with this for a couple of times, and she's said she enjoys it.
Maybe she did. Maybe it was like the first couple of times it was like, fucking hell, that was amazing. And then
it happens every time, yeah.
And especially if you're tired and you want to go to bed and you're like, you know what, I just want to fuck and come.
You just need to have that conversation. Sometimes I like it, and sometimes I just want quick, dirty sex. Is that cool? Yeah. And I'm pretty sure, unless he's an absolute dickhead, he's going to go, yeah, that's fine.
Unless it's like a fetish, unless it's a fetish for him. And he's like, no, I need to control your orgasm. It's like, okay, you can control it. Do what we do. You know I'm not going to say no when you're like, please can I come? Especially when I'm going down on you or something. I'm not going to say no.
No.
I'm not. Because that's the point of me going down on you. Like, that's what I'm trying to achieve. But it gives that power play. It gives that little warm and fuzzy for me. It makes my dick a little bit harder when you're like, please can I come? And I'm like, oh, yeah, of course you can.
Yeah.
But I don't say it like that. I'm like, I suppose. But yeah, I think you need to explain this to him. And as always, communicate.
We need like a soundboard that goes, communicate.
Yeah. This thing's got a soundboard. I don't know how to work it though. But yeah, you need to just explain this to him and say, look, I do, if you do enjoy it, explain that. I do enjoy it sometimes, but it's on those times when I've got more energy and I want,
yeah, not on a Tuesday evening before you got to get up for work in the morning.
Or whatever it is, sometimes I don't want it. Sometimes I just want to fuck. And as soon as it turns to edging, I don't enjoy it that much. Like I do, but it's just not the best. It's not what I'm looking for. So can we maybe change it up a little bit? Just a couple of times, like every now and again we do one or the other, and we talk about it beforehand. Text during the day and be like, oh, I want to edge you tonight. And you'd be like, no, I'm going to cover your dick in my cum so quickly. You've got no choice. All of these little things, you can have this kind of, I know that's a great example I just gave.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's for me how it works. And again, foreplay starts in the morning and you can talk about what you're going to do tonight all day long and enjoy that. And this is what it comes into. If he's like, I'm going to fucking make you wait for hours tonight, and you can be like, little pause button. I
haven't got that in me.
Yeah, I'm not feeling that. I like it sometimes, but not all of the time. I'm sorry. I don't want to hurt your feelings or anything, but I don't enjoy it. He might turn around and go, oh, okay. Oh, I didn't realise. Sorry, I thought you loved it, so I've kept doing it because I thought you absolutely loved it.
That's what I mean. It could have happened the first few times, and she's gone, yeah, I enjoy this, and he's just done that man thing of like, cool, we'll keep up this pace. Yeah,
that's what we do. So yeah, once again, let us know.
Happy?
You happy?
I'm happy.
Let's fucking move on then.
Let's move on to quiz on my face.
Oh shit! Right, yep. Let me get my phone out.
So this week, Luke is asking me, and I ain't got my scores near me.
Where are they?
Over there.
All right, fine. That's fine. We're cool.
But Luke's winning. So hang on, 8, 9, 10. I think you're on 10 and I am on 7.
Pretty pathetic.
That is pathetic.
Okay, I'm going to give you all of these, but yeah, all of these are percentage questions. I don't know why, but they are percentage questions as the answer. Okay, so I'm going to give you 5% either side.
Oh, I might have a chance this week.
You might have a chance, only because I don't know why. These are all percentage questions. I didn't even notice that when I wrote them.
Okay.
Mental.
All right, let's do this.
Okay, so question 1. Obviously, if you're playing at home, get the pen and paper out. Make sure your friends are aware that you're playing a sex quiz.
Loudspeaker in the office.
Always. So, question 1. What percentage of women won't perform oral sex?
Okay.
Happy?
Yes.
Okay, same question, but with men. What percentage of men won't perform oral sex?
Okay.
Okay, question 3. What percentage of men have fantasized about cuckoldry?
Oh, that's nice.
I know. I did write that on purpose because I knew I was bringing it up in this episode.
Oh, gosh.
All of these are surprising to me.
Okay.
What percentage of women, this is question 4, what percentage of women have fantasized about cuckoldry? Feels like a bit of a cheat quiz, to be honest. But.
Okay.
Right. Last question, question 5. What percentage of people have had a one-night stand? There's a sharp intake of breath over there.
Okay. I'm done.
You done?
I'm done.
Okay. Right. So, question 1. What percentage of women won't perform oral sex?
I've done 27%.
Oof. That's astronomically high.
Oh, is it?
This is all subjective, by the way. All of these, I've got the information from sources as best as possible, but it is 8%. I know.
Okay.
8%.
That's not good.
What percentage of men
I've
won't
done
perform?
20%.
Up to 60%.
Shut up.
Yeah, I know. That is upsetting.
I wonder if that's a culture thing.
Potentially. I mean, that study, so the only study I could find, and we're going to extrapolate it, the only study I could find was in Canada.
Okay.
So Canadians don't eat pussy.
Guys.
Which is crazy to me because it's the best thing ever. So what percentage, so question 3, what percentage of men have fantasized about cuckoldry?
I've gone 60.
58%.
Yay.
Get that one right. Well done.
Tick.
58%. That's big to me.
Yeah, that is.
But again, the stag thing, we don't know. What percentage of women have fantasized about cuckoldry?
I've gone wild. I've gone 70.
Oh, God, no. 33.
Yeah, well,
Much less. Which is crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you flip that around for men, how many men have fantasized about fucking another woman with their partner, like, quote unquote, behind their back or whatever, or like with them there? I bet it's higher than fucking 33.
Yeah. That's really low. I thought it was going to be more than the men.
That's what I would have thought. That's what I mean. All of these results are shocking to me. Okay, what percentage of people have had a one-night stand?
58%.
Oh, you're so close to... Well, you're not actually, quite far off. 40%.
What?
Yeah, I've never had a one-night stand.
I guess you haven't, have you?
No.
I mean, yeah, there's nothing exciting about them, guys, so...
That's always my thing.
Keep your numbers low.
I need to... Well, it's not just that. I just need to know how to make someone come, and you can't find out in a nightclub.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, maybe. So out of that 5 you got...
I got 1.
You got 1. That's not bad, though, seeing as they were all percentage, and they were tricky ones.
Oh,
like,
God,
surprising.
I hope my ones next week I've done for you aren't easy. They might be. They probably are, for God's sake.
Rewrite them. It's fine. Okay, that's the end of Quiz on My Face.
Okay. Is that
was
you?
The sound effect for quizzing on my face.
Thanks. Oh no, don't get it in my face.
Oh, it's in my eye.
It's in my eye. I do have red eyes at the moment.
You do. Chelsea, what on earth are you doing?
Wait 1 second.
No, we're in the middle of an episode. What are you doing?
Wait, I'm nearly done.
What?
Oh, that's better.
Oh my God. These toys from Pulse and Cocktails. Let's be honest. Sometimes the bedroom needs a little upgrade. Maybe it's time to swap meh for, oh my God. Pulse and Cocktails has everything from toys that'll make your toes curl to lingerie that'll have your partner speechless. And listen, I know what you're thinking, but what if the nosy neighbours see my parcel? No worries. They've got next day delivery in total discreet packaging. So even MI5 wouldn't know what's inside. Want to see the goods in person? They've got 16 stores across the UK. Head to pulseandcocktails.co.uk and use our code IOTK for 15% discount. And now Chelsea's finished relaxing. Back to the show. What's going next?
Oops, wrong hole.
Oops, wrong hole. Fuck yeah.
Party love.
Yeah. It's the bit that makes me laugh every day. I think about them all the time. And then people will bring them up in work. It's hilarious.
So we've got a few here. One really quick one massive one. So let's get into it.
Well, been there, been both of those.
Let's do the quickie now.
Okay.
Was going at it with my girlfriend. She has loads of ear piercings and I have a nose ring.
Oh no.
She's getting into it and puts her head on my shoulder and my nose ring catches and hooks an ear piercing, nearly rips them out, ruins the moment.
No fucking shit.
I've got a story about this.
I bet you have.
No, it's not to do with me.
Oh, okay.
It's to do with my best friend.
I know.
You know.
Yep.
Yep.
I know the one. I know how, yeah.
So we've been out on a night out and we went back to my friend's flat with a couple of people to carry on drinking. And this guy and his group of friends come back, who we know, because she had previously over the years had little drunken kisses with him on nights out and at parties. It was one of them people, you know the same two people just always meet up and kiss drunkenly over the years.
Drunken kissing's weird.
Anyway, that was their vibe. We'd all been drinking. The people who owned the flat went to bed, so we all kind of did lights out and crashed on the floor and the sofas. My friend and this guy was on the sofa kissing, getting frisky all night long.
Told me this story.
Oh, it's hilarious. I was sleeping on the floor next to him in earshot, by the way, so I could hear. That's probably horrible to hear, but I could hear that for ages. And then all of a sudden she's like, Chelsea, help. So I've got up, I've turned on the living room lights, and there she is. She had a nose ring at the time, and he had a nose ring. Or did he? I can't even remember if he had one or not. Anyway, her nose ring had somehow come out during the kissing and wedged into his nose. I don't know whether it like pierced a hole in or whether it'd gone through a previous hole or there was a ring there. But they were now stuck, humiliated in front of everyone who'd just been awoken in the living room by the lights. And we're trying our best to try and move them apart. But every time we move one, it's hurting the other and they're screaming, but they're like face to face, stuck, drunk, humiliated. And it always sticks to me. I've actually got a video of it and it's hilarious.
I don't want to see it. It sounds, were they naked?
No, but I think they were doing things maybe as the kissing
like
was happening.
Job?
Maybe.
Some finger banging?
Finger banging, maybe. Stuff was happening for suresies.
Okay. But that went on a tangent.
That did. Sorry, guys. I'm terrible at telling the story.
I appreciate your efforts, though.
Right, next one.
Yes.
So after a wonderful day of doing wholesome activities with my partner, we decided to indulge in some rope play.
Of course, that's where it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We went and fed the swans. We've been for a nice walk on the beach. Do you want to tie me up? For sure. Shibari.
I mean, that's how our conversations would go.
That's literally how our fucking goes.
It had been a long day for both of us, so we chose to freshen up separately in the shower beforehand, and being the gent I am, I let her go first. Don't know if that has a point. After maybe 90 minutes of play, we collapsed on the sofa and had a little natter and debrief of the evening's splendour.
Legend. Yes, see, debriefing. Carry on.
As we called it a night, there was a realisation that something was missing. Someone had decided to surprise the other with a decorative anal adornment, and it wasn't me sporting the bling. The tone of the room went from relaxed atmosphere to where the hell is it and how the heck are we going to get it out? One of us was obviously a lot calmer than the other. And having an aunt who has worked in A&E in the past, I quickly recalled a story of a poor lady who had sat on a pool table and had accidentally ingested a pool ball into the back door.
That's how easy it is.
So easy.
Yeah.
I quickly lubed up a hand and encouraged her to lay back and relax. Easier said than done, I could only imagine. Slowly using a couple of fingers, I gently start to unlock the front door, caressing the partition wall that separates the living room and the outhouse.
just talk normally.
Getting in almost to the third knuckle and feeling like a cross between an amateur gynecologist, a midwife and Slenderman. I could feel something a little tougher than a turd, and with a glimmer of hope, I started to slowly massage it downwards to freedom. Thinking this was almost a done deal, she started to relax, but then with a small yelp, we both realised there was a kink in the pipe, so to speak. Not wanting to release the prized treasure from my tentative grip, I kept my hand in place. With the other, I gingerly started to mine a route for the offending article to be freed from the direction it had entered. Luckily, by this point, it was only 2 inches away from freedom, and with a steady two-handed motion, I caressed it towards the departure gate.
You know, just say, I was pulling it towards her arsehole. Like, I'm confused. I'm trying to paint pictures here.
To my shock, as it started to crown, that's a horrible way to put it. As it started to crown, I realised it was breech.
Oh.
This thing had done a cheeky 180 while on its little adventure, popping it out as far as the narrow shank. My play partner eagerly grabbed the end and withdrew it. Ugh. It was a huge sigh of release and darted off to the bath to clean up and inspect for any damage. Luckily, apart from a tear to the eye and the potential shock and embarrassment of having a festive trip to the hospital, everything was good. Needless to say, we'd both had enough action for the evening, so we decided a much-needed hug and there was in order. What have we learned from this? Who knows? Will it happen again? Probably. Be careful out there. Even flared bases can be hoovered up by a hungry, hungry hippo.
This story. What? That I can't. That could have been condensed so much. But the descriptive nature, listen, fantastic.
He's a storyteller.
He is a storyteller. But it took me a minute to understand everything he was saying. I was going cross-eyed at one point. But yeah, no,
Yeah,
that
be
can
careful,
happen.
guys. It
That can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so be real careful because it is A&E or I'm going
Fish it
four
out
fingers
yourself.
knuckle deep inside you, trying to get it out, and it's not sexy when it becomes a surgical procedure. When you start scrubbing in for surgery beforehand, yeah, it's not fun.
Just gonna get my marigolds out there under the sink. Give me a moment.
Yeah, hold the torch. Hold the torch. I need the light.
Torch in my hand, in my mouth. Right, next one.
Oh, we got another. I thought you said there was two.
We actually have two more.
Okay, cool.
I just got a few this week. Right, hi guys, I don't know how to start, so I'll jump right into it. I had a friend with benefits. We've been fucking for a while, but I worked out of town and hadn't seen her for a few months. When I got back, she picked me up from the airport and I said, pull over and let's fuck. She said she was on her period. I countered with, God gave me a sword expecting it to get bloody at some point.
Men are fucking disgusting. Yeah. I love it.
But we decided to get home first so we didn't mess up the car. We played around with each other the whole way to her place. We get inside and then I got inside. I came in about 30 seconds. Yep. I was fucking embarrassed as I've always lasted about 25 to 30 minutes of just fucking.
Not that he's timing it.
She looked at me and laughed and said, what the fuck just happened? So I informed her that the thought of you bleeding out under me made me come.
No.
Needless to say, we didn't fuck after that.
Yeah.
P.S. I've always had a morbid sense of humour and we were very comfortable with each other, so I thought she would laugh with me. But oops, it was either her or me and I chose me.
Wow.
Bless him.
That's the second time we've had someone say a jokey thing and it's fucking backfired.
I'd find it funny.
I would. But I wouldn't say that though. I might.
You might.
I might.
If he said he was comfortable with it.
Yeah, but she didn't like it. She did not like that. Yeah, you've really got to pick your audience with those kinds of jokes.
Yeah, you'll find one eventually. just keep throwing the same joke until you do.
Continuously until it lands. Yeah.
Right, last one. Hey, Luke and Chelsea. I'm sending this in because I feel personally attacked by my own technology.
What?
So my wife and I were having a morning quickie, trying to keep quiet since our kid was still asleep. Everything was perfect. I was just about to finish when out of nowhere, our Alexa speaker blared at full volume, "Hello, your Amazon package has been delivered."
Oh, God.
I instantly lost my orgasm. Wife burst out laughing. Kid woke up and came into the room. Had to pretend we were laughing at a TikTok video while I lay there rock hard regretting all my life choices.
God. What the... Oh, that must just be scary as well.
Yeah,
I'd retract out of you so fast.
Hello, your Amazon parcel has been delivered.
Yeah, I think someone was in the room. I'm like, no.
Yeah, I love technology and AI, but I couldn't deal with it interfering without being asked like that.
I don't love it. I don't love that. Send me a notification on my phone.
Yeah.
I've got it on vibrate or silent. That's crazy. And then the kid comes in and ruins it.
Yeah. Oh, what did we get?
Yeah. So you can't even be like, oh, God, give me a couple of minutes and I'm going to get over this nonsense and then I'm going to finish. Nope, the kid's in now, bouncing on the bed, being like, what are you laughing at? What are you laughing at? Smack. Shut up. Let me finish ploughing your mum. Go back to bed. Kids ruin everything.
Right, that's all I've got this week.
That's it. So,
Would you rather?
Okay. My turn this week. So for those uninitiated, take some time, think about this. I always
answer your ones pretty quickly.
You're so quick at answering them. It actually annoys me. Okay, so would you rather never use your hands during sex again or have to wear Crocs every time?
Have to wear Crocs every time.
Yeah, but Crocs?
Yeah.
We'll never have a threesome again. How do
I'm
we
sure
explain
I'll
that
find
to
a
a
hippie
unicorn?
chick. Yeah, hippie chick. She'll be cool.
No.
She'll probably bring her Crocs as well.
No one's wearing Crocs and I'm having sex with them. I can't do that. I can't.
I'm wearing Crocs for sure. Not being able to touch anything with my hands.
Yeah, but Crocs. I understand. You. This is the predicament. This is the point of the predicament.
Hang on. Read that first line again.
Would you rather never use your hands during sex again?
I can use a toy.
That's in your hand.
Oh no, they're wearing Crocs. Crocs for me. I can put little gems on them. Oh, I could even put a mirror on so I can get a good angle of what's going on down there.
I don't think you understand my hatred for Crocs. I don't think you understand how I'm not going to get turned on. We can't do foot stuff ever again. I can't pop the toes in the mouth when I'm on top of you. Ever again.
We could make one big hole in the Crocs so I could put one toe through it.
Crocs have to be in 100% condition.
Yeah, I'm wearing Crocs to bed.
That's going to be stinky as well when we're doing a marathon session. They're going to get real sweaty because they're like rubbery. You're going to wear socks and Crocs?
No, just bare feet, slip and slide in.
Just barebacking in.
Yeah.
Just going in raw on those Crocs.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how, I don't think I can do it.
No?
No, imagine you're on top of me and you're like, where your feet will go against my thighs and I just feel rubber. Like the foamy rubber of Crocs rubbing up and down.
Yeah.
You're not giving this enough consideration from my point of view, for my liking.
You'll get over it.
I've got to, haven't I?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that didn't go the way I thought it was going to go.
What would you go? Oh, you're obviously going for...
No, I'm going for Crocs. For sure. I have to be more handsy with you. I have to be. And what about me? I have to be handsy with me as well. You just have to be handsy with you, really.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I have to be handsy with both of us.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's going to be the Crocs. And you seem okay with it.
Yeah, we both wear Crocs.
And you don't put my feet in your mouth. So, like, there's no loss there with me wearing Crocs. Have you seen the
little, the toe charms you can get? So it looks like there's toes sticking out of the Crocs.
That sounds fucking disgusting.
I could wear them so you could lick a toe during.
No, I want your toes. I don't want toe charms. That's fucked up. That's made me feel sick. The thought of licking Crocs, I don't know why, it's made me feel sick. Have you got anything else for me? For anything else stupid for me?
No, that's it this week.
That's it. All right, guys. Well, stay safe, keep fucking, and that's it.
Bye.
Bye.